of Alfred Hitchcock, good evening. Tonight I will tell you a tale handed down to me by my ancestors after they took ownership of Shotwell House. Had they known the tale before they signed the paperwork, it may well have seen them hightail it out of here and cursing the name of the estate agent forevermore. A tale to put ice through your veins and nightmares in your mind. List, thrice list to the tale of the devil dog of Despot. Legend tells of the hellhound that stalks the shrubberies of Despot, with a heart full of hate, eyes that shriek death, and the fear-inducing stunted legs of a crippled basset. The devil dog of Despot has long terrorized these parts. It is said that it was once the finest hunting hound of Lord Church-shifting Blythe Chinwright, incumbent of Shotwell House in the years of 1706 to 1745, whence he tragically and horrifically met his end, whereupon hangs this sorry tale. The dog was generally beloved, and spoiled as rotten as decade-old fish. That is until one sad day, when it failed to bring its quarry to ground. Lord Church-shifting Blythe Chinwright, without a second thought, cast the hound from the pack, turning it out to fend for itself in the cold, flat Suffolk countryside. From that time, it is supposed that the hound fostered a deep, dark vengeance toward its master and all men. And so, one fateful night, Lord Church-shifting, having realized that earlier that morning he had dropped from his saddle a favourite and not inexpensive silver hunting horn, went out into the dark in a frenzy to seek it out, for fear that a lowly reprobate or beggaring tramp may happen upon it and make use of it in some depraved sexual act, or worse, pawn it off. Mounting his trusty steed, Throbbing Penis, he struck out in the misty night on a fool's errand. If 'twere merely that his purpose was hopeless, this story would have a merrier end. As it is, the end is a bloody one. Incidentally, if your end be bloody, do seek out a doctor's advice. Thus it was, as Throbbing Penis slowly and falteringly picked his way over a freshly furrowed field, in the foggy dark, his master on his back, keening and peering in vain at the ground, a great snarl that would chill the spine of any boxer snaked into the cold air from within the hedgerow. The horse reared and whinnied, and despite Church-shifting's attempts to calm him, he found himself thrown, and Throbbing Penis receded into the mist. Alone now, and deeply unsettled, a chill in his blood and a moist warmth in his pants, Lord Church-shifting looked toward the source of the rumbling, gut-churning growl. Through the barbs of bramble came a phosphorescent glow. Two hooded eyes, lit by hell's sulphurous gas, staring him down. As he stumbled back and fell hard on the frosty ploughed earth, the thing leapt forth, its eyes blazing, its jaws frothing, its coat torn, ragged and bloody. It came with a man with a fiery force, born of malice and lit surely by Satan's match. Never had a basset hound leapt so high or with such speed. Its strength was unworldly, its ferocity pure evil. The last word wailed by the Lord was but the hound's true name: Snuffles. Ere the syllables rang out across the field, the canine's jaws were at the man's throat, as if to snatch the name from him so that it might never, ever be spoken again, and forever extinguished. Snuffles was no more. In his place was this evil creature. Gory Death was its name now. Terror, blood, and tearing, violent hate. The lord's body was found the next morning by the stableman, who, alarmed to see an unmounted throbbing penis rearing in the stable yard, went out to seek his missing master. Upon discovering the body, which was much altered by the attack and so torn and bloodied as to be almost unrecognizable as human, the stomach of the groomsman was turned quite. As his vomit spewed forth, he swore blind to any that asked afterwards that from the corner of his streaming eye he spied the form of a scarred and foaming dog, its lip curled, its back arched, before it seemed to dissipate into the drifts of fog, only the light of its eyes hanging like an echo in the damp morning air. It is said that from that time the beast, having acquired a taste for human flesh, and now serving a master more devilish than any earthbound creature, lives to this day to ravage any foolish enough to fart about in the fields and hedgerows of Despot at night. Many are the tales of the horror found in the fields while the devil dog prowls, its glowing eyes a beacon of certain doom. As lately as 1938, when the case of Old Fertle's missing face was splashed over the local newspapers with as much abandon as the urine of a widow's pussy, the devil dog has terrorized this land. The reports stated that the man, much known about these parts, partly due to his enormous turnip, the oar of Mrs. Chump, adjudicator of the Enema Produce Show, and partly as a stalwart drink-downer, had been making his way home after a particularly staggering intake of cider, taking the shortcut across the fields of Despot. Pausing for a piddle up against a hornbeam, Old Fertile danced with danger, for by doing so he roused the devil dog, which on scenting the cider spray sprang from its hell pit and tore with its claws great chunks from the man's crumpled face. Old Fertile fled, and was lucky to get away with his life, though he was hideously disfigured by the attack. Surgeons of the day did what they could, performing a skin graft taken from the man's rear flanks. However, when he would tell the tale of his encounter with the hound, he was barely believed, for it was now an unavoidable fact that Old Fertile was talking through his arse cheeks. Heed the tale, my friends, of the devil dog of Despot, and keep off my ruddy land if you know what's good for you.